Good afternoon, Hobart. It's Friday, and time for another edition of HTV Live. I'm going to be your host again, Mr. Crouch. I'm joined, as always, with...
I'm Cameron Vanderberg.
I'm Leila Castro.
Hi, guys. How's it going today?
Pretty good.
It sounds
all right. How are you?
Oh, doing good. All right. It's going to be a little more of an informal podcast today. But we have a couple things to talk about. Leila, why don't you take over?
Okay. So we're going to start off this live stream talking about quarantine karaoke. It seems that people are finding a lot of ways to help with their boredom during this quarantine. One of those things being something called quarantine karaoke, which is a group available on Facebook where people post videos of them singing or doing live videos of them singing. The group is very positive and has thousands of members throughout the world. People post videos of their kids singing, them singing with their families, or just singing by themselves. There is real talent in the group, and the group has gotten so popular that they've even made shirts for it.
Well, that's crazy. Did you guys know that this was a thing?
No,
yeah, I'm in the group.
What,
You are?
You're in the group?
I posted a video in the group. Yeah.
See, I knew it was a thing. I'm just not part of the group.
Oh, that's awesome. So how does it work?
I mean, it's basically like just posting normally on Facebook. Like you just make a video, you upload it to Facebook, and people just react to it or not react to it. In my case.
Oh, they enjoy its presence.
So wait, so like I know how karaoke works, right? Like you have lyrics on the screen and you sing it.
Yeah.
Do you guys just like sing songs?
I mean, you could either sing like along with a karaoke track or just sing like along with the actual song itself. I mean, you just sing. No matter how you do it, you just sing.
Well, that's cool. And it doesn't matter what songs you sing, or is it a certain
Nope.
genre?
No, I have noticed that it's a lot of country music that's in the group, but you can sing whatever you want.
That's really
okay.
What song did you sing?
I sang an Alicia Keys song. I don't remember which one. I think it sure looks good to me. I think I sang.
All
right. That's really cool.
And this Facebook is on. It's a Facebook group, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And what's the name of the group? Just
Quarantine Karaoke.
Cool. Yeah.
Quarantine Karaoke. All right. So if you guys are interested in singing and using that to pass the time, look up this Quarantine Karaoke group on Facebook. What do we got coming up next, Leila?
Now Aaron is going to start talking about sports.
All right, Aaron, take it away.
Rob Gronkowski's contract rights were traded from the New England Patriots to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last Tuesday to pair him up with his former teammate Tom Brady. This would be the first time the two played together since the 2018 season. The trade consists of Tampa Bay's 4th rounder for New England's Rob Gronkowski and 7th rounder. This move's interesting for Tampa, honestly, because Tampa's offense really doesn't utilize their tight ends. What I mean by like utilizing, they aren't a target in the offense. Meaning it's mainly the tight ends aren't targeted in their offense mainly due to the two-headed monster with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. Both of them had over 115 targets as well as over 1,000 receiving yards each last year. Speaking of which, like targets for O.J. Howard, he, the backup tight end who Gronk is thought to replace, he only had 53 targets last year. That put him 5th on the team for like targets, and only 459 yards. It's a questionable move by Tampa, but at the same time, it makes a lot of sense bringing in Tom Brady's old teammate. Moving on to what happened last night, the NFL draft. The draft was really surprising at certain points, but with no surprise, Joe Burrow went number 1 in the draft. He gives an entire franchise hope. The Cincinnati Bengals looked to add something to their struggling roster, and they added a player with an immense amount of upside. Joe Burrow is a 2020 Heisman winner and a 2020 national champion. The Redskins, they held the second overall pick and took the defensive end out of Ohio State, Chase Young. Chase Young had 16 and a half sacks last season and was a defensive monster, making every team he played against plan for him and him only. He was that. It's crazy how much upside this guy has. The first surprise in the draft honestly came in with the fourth pick, the New York Giants selecting Andrew Thomas, a tackle out of Georgia. Andrew Thomas is thought to be one of the better pass protectors in the draft. And while this is a good pick for New York to help out their newish young quarterback, but it was honestly thought that New York would go for defense and draft the linebacker out of Clemson, Isaiah Simmons, who is thought to be the most athletic player in the draft because not solely, but he can play every skilled defensive position. And that's absurd. But then, speaking more about Isaiah Simmons is when he fell to number 8. It's a big slip considering he was thought to be 4th in the draft. But he fell to number 8. So the Cardinals selected him. And with that pick, they got, like I said earlier, the most athletic player in the draft. It's a personal belief. But giving more stats on that, he ran a 4.3 40 time, 4 seconds, 39 milliseconds, and having a 39-inch standing vertical and an 11-foot broad jump. It's crazy. It's a lot. Wow. I'm sorry. You don't really see stats like that.
Yeah, I mean that sounds like he should have been higher up on the chain.
Really is.
So when you saw that drop, did you think there was a particular reason, or?
Honestly, no. It's just like what do you want to address more? I see the Giants just wanted to address more on the line, protecting their quarterback, because last year I believe they were one of the worst teams on like giving up sacks in a game, and if you want to win games, you got to protect your quarterback.
Yeah.
So some surprising numbers for you then, right?
Yeah, a lot.
Wow, that's I'm sure that it's going to cause some definite
controversies,
some conversations. It's going to be interesting to see where the NFL goes with this. Is there any indication on what kind of protocols there's going to be when we reopen sporting events and whatnot?
For football, right now it's thought that they might test the waters in playing a couple of games without fans, but as of right now, that's really the only thing the NFL has said. And basketball wise, it's just been the same thing, trying to get enough tests so they can have it per team, so it's just like on the spot testing, so they could possibly play sooner and maybe play in stadiums without fans. But really, it's just been the same news, same stories, the sports world right now.
Yeah, so it's just we're all still on a freeze right this second.
Yeah.
No real decisions have been made yet.
Mm-hmm.
For sports, they're just gonna have the basketball court, but just a plastic bubble over it.
There you go.
Yeah,
it's
for sports of the future, guys. Force it.
Giant sneeze guard.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Leila, what's up next?
Now Cameron is going to talk about esports.
All right, Cameron, take it away, Cameron. Oh, there we go. Here we go, and
there we go.
There you go.
So yeah, esports has been, with the quarantine being in effect, again, one of the sports that was hit by the virus, but has hit back in a pretty strong fashion. Riot has released their closed beta game Valorant and has done pretty well with it. Valorant just recently this week, in what can only be described as an interesting marketing maneuver, its new competitive shooter Valorant is seeing its first official esports tournament this week. On Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday this week, ESPN Esports live streamed an 8-team event consisting of 40 pro gamers and Twitch personalities. The teams were Team Mirage, which had Brax, Ska, AZK, Nothing, Heiko, and Skadoodle. Team Battlegrounds, which was Vegas, Vernarded, Violet, your boy Dre, Sharky, and 17. Team Liama, which was Palm, Tifo, Joseph, High Sky, and Z. Team 6, which was Canadian, Rampy, Thinknade, NVK, and Necrox. Team Canyon, which was Asu, Dizzy, Mendo, Keller, and I hate his name. Sinkdez is how you pronounce it. Team Rift, which was Dyrus, Zymoth, Cypher, Double Lift, and MQTP. Other than that fact, it is a tournament for an unfinished game. This event is not at all that surprising, though. Riot planned for Valorant to be an esports contender from the beginning. The overwhelming popularity of the beta version of the game on Twitch has all but cemented the title's place in professional and competitive play. But Riot has specifically stated that it has 3 things in mind when it comes to their esports scene: competitive integrity, accessibility, and authenticity. What does this mean? So Riot, as a lot of people who follow esports know, just like a lot of companies, franchised. So League of Legends, one of the biggest esports in the world, was created by Riot Games and has done what many esports organizations have done and franchised. What does that mean? Think of it like the NFL. You have the Chicago Bears, you have the Ravens, the Seahawks. Esports has that as well. And League of Legends did that. So each particular team has to pay a certain amount of money. I think it's 25 million to get in, and you're cemented in for the rest. And then you play in basically a gauntlet of teams to see who contends for that particular season. And if you win, you play. If you don't, then you go home and hope to God you have better players next year. They did release, however, a cool little chart that tells us how tournaments are going to work. So there's going to be 3 different types of tournaments, and Riot is basically letting its players hold the steering wheel on this. The tournaments are only going to be as big as the players want them to be. So we have the small tournaments, which are participant-driven, non-produced small events, which the organizers are normally players, PC cafes, community organizers, etc. The prize pool doesn't exceed 10 grand or $12,000 in non-cash prizes. And it's fun for social play, maybe for like publicity, that type of thing. And Riot has no say-so or like foot in the door on that. There are the medium tournaments, which are middle tier businesses, brands, esports organizations, influencers, guys who either want to scout or want to get their team known. The prize pool does not exceed $50,000 or does not exceed the no guaranteed like implications, or like it doesn't exceed a massive tournament. It can't go any higher than like the majors. And then the organizer's goal for this is to seek monetization, grow a brand, business, etc. Then there's the major tournaments. These are produced for competitive play. These are going to be the teams where you see Cloud9, Optic, FaZe, Liquid, all these teams play. And these are the major events. These are made by like DreamHack, ESL, OGN, sometimes by Riot themselves. We might even see a Worlds for Valorant. These are official and semi-pro. These are part of the global competitive ecosystem. And what that means is the prize pool is based not only on how much money is going into the game, but it's also based on ticket sales, based on player commitment, like that type of thing. There's a lot that goes into that. And then the particular goal of this is to grow the game and grow the esports and grow the business. And Riot will have a lot of say-so in what goes on with this particular thing. And this is to come. We haven't seen anything besides the ESPN tournament or the 100 Thieves tournament. So we're hoping to see some new faces. Valorant is very easy to get the hang of if you've ever played CSGO, if you've ever played Siege, if you've ever played a game like that. It's very easy to get into. So we might see some new esports faces as well. Going on the home front, though, our Overwatch teams played this week, with Varsity getting their first win of the season. The first half of the game, however, they were on the ropes, losing 2-1, but ended up bringing back for a reverse sweep on a 3-2 victory. Our Hearthstone teams played as well, with both Ian Bennett and Jacob Smith coming out with victories. Jacob still cementing his undefeated streak and hoping to continue that for the rest of the season. Our Minecraft players still staying in that top 25 slot, all of them, and climbing the ranks, some of them reaching the top 10s and some the top 5s. And our Smash team making some headway, playing 29 individual matches per game, and getting a total of 15 seasonal match wins this particular season. Going in for the rest of the season, they have a few more matches to go. But Brett Nuzzo doing it yet again, winning a first place trophy for Hobart, going and competing in the Game Head event that was hosted online, and Brett took first overall. For those of you guys who don't know Brett Nuzzo is also the one who won the first place trophy at Manchester. He is insane at Smash. But that is pretty much all that is in esports right now. We're hoping to find some more information on Valorant for next week, and maybe even some bigger tournaments.
Wow, that's a lot going down in esports, especially in our neck of the woods. That's amazing that we've had so many great outcomes with Bricky Esports, being that this is the first year we have put out our Bricky Esports program.
No, yeah, definitely. I'm like, especially with like being a part of it, and like being like the president, and having such like a large role in it. I am more than proud of everyone that has helped with esports, and being as passionate as I am. I can happily say that I'm very excited to see what happens after I've graduated. I can't wait to come back and see some trophies and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned Valorant is a unfinished game, right?
Yes. So Valorant currently is. Oh yeah, cool. Yes. So Valorant is a beta. What that means is it is not finished. It is updating as players play it. The only way to currently play the game is by getting a closed beta key, which few of our at-home esports players have. Me, Reggie Hunter, Scott Mossman, Jarrett Medeiros. We've been jamming out together. But how you get the key is if you guys go on Twitch TV, look for Valorant. It's there. Twitch is making sure it's there. Yeah. And it'll say drops enabled. What that means is drops enabled means that if you watch, you have a chance to get a Valorant key. Keep in mind, guys, you do have to connect your Riot account to your Twitch account. Very, very simple. Just go to Valorant's website. Shows you how to do it. You connect your Riot account to your Twitch account, watch a stream, chill for a few hours, and just hope for a key.
Awesome. We have a comment here asking, will esports continue on through the summer?
So as far as I know, some of the and obviously things can change with the virus being the way it is. HSEL is still holding their summer league, and it still goes through. And I know Ball State has a few tournaments, and then colleges are hosting a few tournaments as well. As for esports being as like all of our teams are playing, that I don't know the answer to that one.
Yeah, I would say that it all depends on the stay-at-home order, the lift on that. If we can get back into the building and we can get back into a normal way of doing esports, I don't see why a summer league or a summer session wouldn't be possible. And obviously, students can sign up for HSEL on their own and do their own tournaments and whatnot. But as far as the Bricky Esports is concerned, it's much better handled when we have our teams being able to practice and play in our environment And I think that would probably be the determining factor whether or not the Bricky esports teams will be competing over the summer.
Yeah. Do I want them to compete over the summer? Absolutely.
Oh yeah, we want that. We want that as well. But we want everybody to be safe and sound as well. All right. Well, guys, again, thank you for joining me on this Friday. I think this was a nice little fun podcast that we had. A lot of information about sports going on to this time. So we had some awesome stuff from the NFL, great things in the world of esports. You guys are rocking it with that. And the karaoke, very unique way to handle the quarantine and have a little fun and get a little social interaction virtually, right?
Definitely. Yeah.
I noticed. I just looked over at who commented for esports, and I noticed it was Miss Torres. And going into karaoke, I know Miss Torres loves the music in her classroom, so I could see Miss Torres being part of quarantine karaoke.
I'm gonna have to cut this short here. We're gonna have a little visitor here in a second. Say hi, Jason.
Hi.
All right. It's been a great little episode here, guys. Thank you for joining me today. I'm Mr. Crouch.
I'm Leila
I'm Aaron
Castro.
Bell.
I'm Karen Vanderberg.
I'm Aaron Bell.
And this is all of us from HTV saying good night. Good night.